Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Theme Park Source. And in this episode, we're going to be looking at 4 new roller coasters that are coming to Europe in 2024.
Yep, last time we had a look at the new roller coasters coming to the UK in 2024, and you can take a look at that video now, which is appearing in the top right. But this time we're looking at the rest of Europe. Got some really exciting rides coming to Europe in 2024, ride types that we haven't seen before in Europe, or actually for one of them ever. So yeah, really looking forward to getting into this.
As always, thanks very much for watching, and please do like, subscribe and comment. We love to hear from you to get your opinions really of these new roller coasters that are coming. And we hope you enjoy the video.
So without further ado, let's have a look at the first new ride coming to Europe for 2024, Voltron Navarra at Europa Park.
This is Mac's new thrill coaster model, which is called the Striker Coaster. And it's going to feature the world's first beyond vertical launch at 105 degrees, which is very exciting. The ride will also feature 4 LSM launches and traverse through 7 inversions. And as you can see in this image on the bottom right there, that's basically the construction site at the moment. So it's progressing very well. And what are your thoughts on this, Nick? Because if I'm honest with you, I feel like this is going to break into my top 10 already, just looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's apt that it's themed to Nikola Tesla, this mad scientist, because it's an absolutely ridiculously crazy invention. It feels like the Smiler and Helix at Liseberg had a baby, basically. And you throw in there like a swing launch, like this beyond vertical launch as well. And it's just got so many elements and so much going for it. I'm really excited about it. What are you most looking forward to?
I mean, I'm excited about the layout. It looks really incredible. It's got some inversions that are just, just look insane. It looks like it's going to offer some great airtime as well. This beyond vertical launch and the fact that it goes backwards as well. And also, we know Europa Park theme their rides very well. Like it's just top class, and I can't really say any more. It just looks amazing.
Yeah, I guess one thing that stood out to me a little bit was it does feel like it has a lot of inversions, and I don't know if it's just me personally, but I think it gets a little bit much. But what I'm hoping is that because the layout is so long and it's kind of split into these 2 halves, I'm hoping that the little break that you get in the middle will mean that it's not too nauseating.
I think I know how you feel, because it's also going to go backwards and launching, isn't it? The thing that surprised me is when we went on Ride to Happiness, I really thought that was going to make me feel sick, and that was Mac's last thrill coaster model. But I ended up just coming out of the ride feeling very euphoric and just absolutely loved the experience. It was just amazing, and I just feel this is going to offer the same thing.
I think also it's going to be really interesting to have the dynamic of the trains, which I think are going to be a bit like the Mac Big Dipper ride model trains. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's like Lost Gravity, isn't it, at Walibi Holland? I think it's going to be on that similar, yeah, but it's going to be like the Smiler with the 4 rows. And
yeah, 4 rows. But that means that the outside seats of each of the rows will be like a sort of flawless experience, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, the 2 seats in the middle will be on the track, but they'll be dangling as well. And we know all that. I mean, that offers just an added experience to a roller coaster. I'm really excited about like the launch, vertical launch. I don't know about you, but that's something very different, isn't it? Well, it's a world's first, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting to experience. I guess we've both been on Red Force at Ventura, launching you vertically up, the 300 foot. But I guess the difference is that as soon as you leave that launch, horizontal launch, you are losing momentum. So But to have your acceleration like at least sustained or even potentially increase as you go up, that's going to be really crazy feeling, I think.
Yeah, and if you see the launch, it's kind of as it launches up, it's sort of got a vertical moment and then goes over like that. It's kind of like I don't even know what type of inversion it is, and I think it's going to be really good.
Another thing that's really interesting about the layout is that obviously you're going to have the classic Mac over the shoulder lap bars, which, you know, A, the seats on Mac Coaster just are so comfortable, and B, then you have this kind of freedom of having your whole upper body just free to do whatever. And that will just make the elements on the coaster, like that hang time moment, really, really interesting.
Yeah, I just feel Europa, you know, they've got some really great roller coasters, and I think this would be a great addition for Europa Park. I felt like they needed a new thrill coaster there.
Yeah, really, really excited to see this coming to Europa Park in 2024 and can't wait to ride it.
Same. It's going to be great.
So here we go. The new multi-launch coaster 2024. There you go, straight up that vertical launch. And yeah, that's going to be a crazy moment of hang time there. I can already feel myself falling out the seat.
You have like a little sort of barrel roll there into another inversion, which is Immelman, isn't it? And then
like it.
Another Immelman.
Oh, you know what? That's like that's one inversion actually. It's like it looks like it's like a pretzel loop or something like that.
It does look a bit like that, doesn't it? Yeah. And I'm glad it's got a 0G still. I absolutely love those inversions.
Oh, that's a weird one, isn't it? A little sort of reverse sidewinder.
Yeah, I like it as well. I mean, it's already like it looks very fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. So now you're into the this little turntable thing now, which I'm guessing I'm not quite sure why they need a turntable here, but
I think it's to do with throughput, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know, like something like that. Like they can send another train while this one's doing its thing.
There's a swing launch going back first.
Yeah, and then another big launch there. Oh, we got a bit of train.
That element reminds me of the first like top hat on Caracho at Tripsdrill.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? Yeah, and it's a very long ride. I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of inversions going on here. It doesn't really go backwards too much, does it? Really, it's kind of
only for a tiny amount. Yeah, I guess it's just so that they can get the train over the hill in such a small footprint.
Yeah, exactly.
So next we're looking at Mahuka or Mahuka. I don't know how you pronounce it. Let us know in the comments how you think you pronounce it. But this is a very interesting new ride coming to Walibi Rhône-Alpes. And this is the Hot Racer model by Intamin. It's a single rail coaster, so it will be the first new generation single rail coaster in the UK, because obviously there have been single rail coasters such as Steeplechase at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but we're not counting that as in the new generation. And yeah, I guess we'll experience an exciting archaeological journey to an abandoned temple built in honor of the fire god on a deserted island in the southern Pacific Ocean. This will be only the second ever built in the world. The first being Hot Racer at Luna Park in Australia. So yeah, what do you think of this one, Steve? Looks quite interesting.
It does. The fact that it's Europe's first as well. I mean, looking at the layout there, it looks like it's going to be very thrilling. I think it's going to cater for the family as well as, the thrill market. And it's going to feature, I think, some tired launches, I think, which go into like a top hat. It's got a few inversions, like a corkscrew, and like an upside down top hat there. My thoughts are, I've not been on one of these roller coasters before, but they look very fast. If you look at some of the POVs, and also the ones like the RMC Raptors that are in America, whether it will be the same, kind of thrill, I don't know. But it looks like it's going to offer some great airtime and some really, sort of hang time as well, maybe with some of these launches. But I could see it being quite smooth as well, because with these single rail, essentially with single rails, you can actually, do a lot more with the track in terms of like transitions and things. And I think this will be really a good addition to the park, even though I don't know too much about the park.
I guess the thing with the tire propelled launch is that it's generally taking you up to a not as high a speed as an LSM launch. So I think that the max speed on this will be around 45 miles an hour, which obviously isn't that quick. But if it gets you up to that in a couple seconds, that's still going to feel quite fast. Sort of same speed of acceleration as Rita, Alton Towers, maybe a bit slower. And then obviously it has this very sort of twisty layout. It has 3 inversions. So it starts with a inside top hat, which actually is an inversion I've not experienced. So that would be interesting. And then I think corkscrew and a heartline roll. It goes round as well sort of twice. So you have not only your first launch, but you actually have a boost after that as well, which takes you up around another sort of top hat element and back through the rest of the course.
I think the fact that it's single rail as well, it's very, very different. And I'm not sure what it will be like, because you're basically sitting just one single seat, essentially, on the train. So that'll be very, very different. So in this image here, you can see it's probably going to be very well themed, and which is going to be themed like an archaeological. I can't say that word. Archaeological journey. But also, I do love what they're doing here with the top hat and the inverted top hat. The fact that the path goes, underneath it. I do like that sort of, look. And it's a very strange-looking roller coaster, isn't it, Nick? It's not really something you normally see.
It does look really odd. And I actually really like the way that these 2 elements interact with each other. I don't know. I mean, considering they're 2 block sections, I assume, technically you could have coasters going through this element at exactly the same time, potentially.
It could do. Yeah, it could do. I mean, that would look really cool, wouldn't it, if it's going over at the same time?
And it will definitely add to the thrill as well.
Definitely, yeah. I do like those sort of, like the Smiler, for example, when it does the backwind and the Cobra roll. I like the fact that sometimes the trains sort of, intervene with each other, and I'd love it if they're going for that sort of thing here. Which I think will add to the experience. So the next 2 new roller coasters we are looking at today are an unnamed STC, which is a suspended thrill coaster, and also Family Boomerang, which is coming to Europa Park in Ireland. They're kicking off things really here with a brand new area, which is going to feature 2 new, one family thrill coaster and 1 family boomerang. What are your thoughts on this, Nick? I think this would be a great addition for Emerald Park.
Yeah, well, we've ridden the only other combo like this in the world. At Tripstrail, you have Hans Uber Kopf and whatever the boomerang's called. I've forgotten what that's called. But those are really 2 great family thrill rides. Probably the Hans Uber Kopf is one of the best family thrill rides I've ever been on. It's just really nice and smooth. It gives you some great forces. This layout actually looks even more interesting, and we'll take a look at the someone's done a little unofficial POV. We'll take a look at that shortly. But then also you have obviously the nice interaction of the 2 rides, and getting obviously 2 not for the price of 1, because I'm sure it cost more to get 2, but two rides in the same area interlocking with each other, and I think it's great.
It is great, yeah. I think Emerald Park kind of needs something like this. I mean, they've obviously got the Kukulayan coaster. I think that's how you pronounce it, which is the woody.
Yeah. Sorry to any Irish listeners. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kukulayan?
Kukulayan. It could be, something like that. It's the most bizarre. But for Irish, it's probably, they probably pronounce it very, smooth.
No, it's not probably. It's definitely. Let's take a look and see what it does. So a nice kind of bank drop there. That's going to be really interesting. Some good hang time, and then straight into that's like a junior Immelman. So that's like one inversion.
I like the way it's going close to the ground there as well. Someone's going into like some, little what are they called? You got inversion there as well. But yeah, I mean, this one, it's not showing many inversions, but yeah, close to the ground sort of transitions here, isn't it? So a few banks, and then dives down again. This would be good for Europa Park, I think. I mean, I think the fact that that's going to interact with the boomerang is going to be very well themed. And yeah, I mean, it looked like there were 3 inversions there, wasn't there? And then, but some nice tight transitions in the ground as well.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good addition, and looking forward to making the trip over the Irish Sea to give it a ride next year.
So the last roller coaster we're going to look at, and we'll just sort of have a brief look over, is Vindfald, which is coming to Tivoli in Friheden, Denmark. Yeah, coming to 2024 is a new Gerstlauer Eurofighter, which we don't know too much about, do we, at the moment? But as you can see here, here's some concept art, and it looks like it has some, inversions going on here, and it's going to offer some nice little moments, isn't it?
Yeah, I just thought we'd add this one as a bit of an extra on the end, because I feel like probably this has gone quite under the radar, but it's actually quite a big investment for a park this small. I think that it looks like a really nice, compact, interesting layout, and obviously that's going to elevate the park lineup, no end. So I think it's really, really nice addition for Friheden. Tivoli Friheden.
Yeah, I think with these Gerstlauer Eurofighter coasters, they, the older ones are quite rough, aren't they? Gerstlauer have that reputation a bit with their coasters, but I think with new ones that have come out, like the Infinity Coaster, I mean, for example, Nubus at Plopsaland is actually quite smooth, isn't it? And I think the fact that this is, still Eurofighter, I think it's going to be very comfortable to ride. But it's obviously going to be sort of another family thrill coaster, I'd say. That's what they're aiming for. It kind of reminds me of Rage at Adventure Island, actually.
Yeah, I mean, let's not do it too much down. It looks like it's got a beyond vertical drop there, so let's just see. I reckon that's going to be pretty thrilling. That's going to throw you out your seat, and then you've got 2 very tight inversions. I think it's going to pack a bit of a punch.
Definitely, yeah. And I think this would be a great addition for the park.
So thanks again, everyone, for joining us for another edition of Theme Park Source. Next time, we'll be looking at all the new coasters coming to North America in 2024.
Yeah, there's some exciting new roller coasters coming to the US, so we'll be looking into those. We hope you enjoy this content, the Theme Park Source Cast, as we've called it. And I mean, we enjoy it, and obviously we love to hear from you guys as well. So please do comment, and again, thank you to everyone that subscribes and sort of kept with us, really. And we'll bring you more content as we go along.
Yeah, and please do let us know if you think we've missed out any really important ones that you're really looking forward to in the comments. We've just gone through the ones that we think are the most interesting. So yeah, please do let us know, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you for watching.
Cheers, bye.